Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. I really appreciate that you spend time to watch my video and I hope you will enjoy this one. Today's turning is a birch bowl with dolomite and volcanic sand inlay. The back of the bowl is already turned and sanded, and I will concentrate on the front side of the bowl with the inlay. I use my square carbide tool to take off the top of the dolomite and the volcanic sand, and that really dulls the tool fast. So I will show later in the video how you can sharpen your carbide tips easily and cheap, so you don't have to buy a lot of new ones. Here I'm just establishing the rim where the inlay line should be, and I'm shear scraping right now to get the final shape and a smooth surface. The rim is done, and I'm marking with a pencil the lines I want to do the inlay in, and then I will use a 3mm parting tool to make the grooves for the inlay. When I make the grooves, I will make them a little wider in the bottom of the groove than I will do in the top. You can see the groove in the small picture on the screen right now. If you do it like this, you will ensure that the inlay won't fall out. After making the grooves, I decided to hollow out the bowl. You could do that afterwards, but I thought it was the easiest to do it right now. The bowl is finished turned, and it's time to do the inlay. The first thing I do is to mix the volcanic sand and the dolomite sand. I wanted to have mostly black, but I wanted to have some small amount of white in it. You could do half-half or more white or black, up to you. I will link the volcanic sand and the dolomite sand in the description of the video. Before filling the grooves with inlay, I just cleaned them out with some air. And there's two ways you can do this as I see it. You can start like I do here by putting some CA in the groove and then fill it up. And I wanted to try that on the outside groove. And I made a funnel with a piece of paper and put the inlays in there, and I can nicely put it in the outside groove. The inside groove I filled up with the inlay first, and then I put the CA on top of it. I of course also put CA on top of the inlay on the outside groove, but it will set, the first part will set. When thinking back to it, I would actually prefer filling up the grooves before putting in any CA, because I at the beginning hit the funnel with the inlays, I hit that down and got a little CA, and that made it a lot more difficult to fill up and get the inlay sand out of the funnel. So when I do this another time, I will definitely fill up the grooves with the inlay and then put on the CA afterwards. To get rid of some of the excess sand, I just use a small pencil to rub it off and put it down in the bowl. You don't want to rub too hard because you want the grooves to be filled up before you put in the CA. Here I'm just applying the CA. I just drip a little at the time in, and it's important that you use a thin CA so it can seep down all the way and connect to the wood and the sand at the same time. And here I'm just filling up some small places where I can see that the sand hasn't come right to the top, and I will put CA on top of this afterwards. I didn't have any CA accelerator home, so I used my heat gun, and you have to remember the accelerator only hardens the top of the CA, and you can expect it to harden it all the way down when you do an inlay like this. I then used my square carbide tip to take off the excess sand, and it's very hard on the tool and it dulls the tool pretty fast. Off camera I did try with the bowl gouge, but it instantly got dull and was useless to this kind of work. I started the sanding on the Dolomite and Volcanic sand at grit 80, and it worked fine at that grit. It is very hard to sand down, and you have to be patient when you do it. After sanding with the 80 grit, I found some small parts of the inlay that wasn't fully filled, and I decided to do that before going further on with the sanding. I sanded the whole piece with grit 80 to grit 240. When the sanding was finished, I cleaned it off with denatured alcohol. And then I gave it a run with abrasive paste. As a final finish, I gave it 3 coats of microcrystalline wax from Hampshire Sheen. While waiting on the microcrystalline wax to harden a little so I could polish it, I decided to sharpen my carbide tool so it was ready for the next turning. I did buy a set of 240, 600 and 1200 grit small diamond plates. I start on the 240 grit and I rub it only on the top side of the carbide tip, and I use odorless petroleum as a solvent. And then I go to the 600 grit and I do the same, and I do it like 10-20 times on top of the carbide tip. And when that is done, the carbide tip is as good as new when you bought it. Actually, some of the tips I think is sharper after you do this. Thank you very much for watching my video. Please subscribe, like and hit the notification bell below, and please comment in the comment section. That will greatly help my channel. Have a nice day and stay safe out there.